Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 6. This episode was written and directed by Rick Famuyiwa. So, we start off on a garbage planet where we see Miggs Mayfield again, and he's a prisoner doing garbage prisoner things. So Cara Dune shows up and sees his new credentials working for the New Republic to get Mayfield into her custody to help her, Mando, Boba Fett, and Agent May locate Moff Gideon's ship. So she needs him to give her access to a terminal, and he could do this because he used to work for the Imperialists, so he has the clearances and the protocols to get them in. So they all go to this Imperial mining hub on a different planet. And Mayfield and Mando steal stormtrooper suits, and Mayfield remarks that it's hard to see through the helmet. Now notice this is the almost the exact same thing Luke Skywalker said in the original series. Is this why stormtroopers suck at aiming, and then they can never shoot people because they can't see anything? It's a valid reason. So Mayfield asks Mando that since he took his helmet off to put the stormtrooper's helmet on, and he just likes wearing a helmet, it doesn't matter if it's a Mandalorian helmet. Does he wear his Mandalorian helmet to respect the Mandalorian culture, or to hide who he really is? That's a very interesting point. It puts Mando in a different light, and it shows how observant Mayfield is, and how he's able to read Mando perfectly. It also makes us think, yeah, does Mando really care about the Mandalorian culture, or is he using it as a crutch to hide from himself? So anyway, though, driving a stolen stormtrooper ship, and they're attacked by these like native pirate people, and there's a very cool battle scene. They're trying to detonate Mando's ship with these little bombs, but Mando's able to get rid of them. And there's a cool scene where Mando runs out of bullets in his gun, but he's able to still fight and defeat them through hand-to-hand combat, which is always very useful. And Mando's able to defeat these guys with the help of stormtroopers. Yes, stormtroopers. They're finally shoot right. They're finally being competent, but only when it's fighting other bad guys. I think if Star Wars has a weakness that transcends both the original trilogy, prequels, sequels, cartoons, and Mandalorian, is that stormtroopers can never shoot right, only when it's convenient for the plot. So Mando and Mayfield are able to infiltrate the stormtrooper base, but Mayfield can't show his face into the computer like they planned, because he's afraid that the man in charge might recognize him. So Mando takes his helmet off, and he shows his face. And he's able to bypass security, and this is the first time that people saw Mando's face since he was a little boy. So that just shows that his love for Grogu means more to him than his pride as a Mandalorian. He's able to put aside his, I don't know, his stubbornness of not taking the helmet off just to save Grogu. And Mayfield risks having his cover blown because he's not able to answer that guard's questions. But Mayfield steps up and he saves face and he covers for him, which shows how much Mayfield has grown as a character and how he actually kind of cares about Mando. So Mayfield and Mando meet with Mayfield's old Imperial commando and they have drinks. And the commando's talking about how all the deaths, all the people they killed were necessary because they'd helped the greater goal. And he says that everyone secretly wants to be controlled. Which could echo today's political climate, with the lockdowns and mask mandates. Now, of course, this wasn't the intention because this episode was filmed before all of that, but I think it's relevant. So Mayfield disagrees with the commander, and he says that they are innocent people, and they shouldn't be killed to fulfill the Empire's goals. But the commander says it was worth it, so Mayfield gets angry and kills him. This breaks the cover, so they have this cool shootout with the stormtroopers on the side of the building, and are saved by Cara Dune, Agent May, and Boba Fett. So they escape the base, and since Mayfield went above and beyond to help them, he kind of proved how selfless he is, and he actually does care about Mando. Cara Dune fakes his death, and allows him to escape from prison. So he gets to go on his own adventures. Maybe a spin-off? I mean, Disney has like 50 spin-offs now, so why not add another one? So this episode ends with Mando sending Gus Fring a warning message that he's coming to rescue Grogu. He says, Moff Gideon, you have something I want. You may think you have some idea of what you're in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. He means more to me than you will ever know. This is almost the exact same thing Moff Gideon said to Mando last season. So that's some dramatic irony there. So here's some observations I have about this episode. I wasn't a huge fan of Mayfield's character in season 1, but he was much more likable this season. He was allowed to be less of a comic relief character, and we saw that he doesn't think of things as black and white. He thinks that the Mandalorians and the Imperials aren't that different, and he kind of has a couple points. So Mayfield's much more of a layered character in this, and thus more likable. So both Pedro Pascal and the guy who played the Imperial Commander were on Game of Thrones, because I looked it up, and the Imperial Commando played the Night King in seasons 4 and 5 at least. And of course, Pedro Pascal played Oberyn Martell in season 4. So, neat little connections. I don't know if they knew each other on Game of Thrones. They probably did. So, this is the first episode. Grogu wasn't in it. And you'd think, since Grogu's a major selling point for the show, and that's, let's be honest, that's what made everybody watch the show in the first place. You think it wouldn't be that good of an episode without Baby Yoda? Well, they're wrong. It's a great episode. So, this is the first time, first time Baby Yoda wasn't in an episode, but, I think it's one of the best episodes. I keep saying that every week, though, because there's not been a bad episode in this season, or this series. This show is awesome. I'm gonna give this one an A minus. I'm expecting a lot next week, set by the expectations of the first 7 episodes. Really looking forward to it. Gotta find something to fill that empty hole in my heart once this season's over. But, let me know some recommendations in the comments. I hope everybody out there has a nice day and stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.